Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a full-on first impressions and flip through of the Fae The Ferns Tarot by Samantha Sawyer. I got this deck off of Etsy and I will link her Etsy shop in the description down below. This is a hard box. I was gonna say hardcover box. I mean, I guess it's a hardcover box. Anyways, I'm gonna attempt to do the flip through a bit differently here, just so we can go through the cards in a bit more detail and take a look at them in a more descriptive fashion, if that makes any sense. One thing I did want to say, this deck doesn't come with a book per se, but it does come with 2 information cards, one of which is the Major Arcana, which has some keywords for each of the Major Arcana cards, and it comes with the Minor Arcana with a little bit of detail. This deck is the metallic version, and it also has holographic look to it. Not all of the cards are holographic, like these for example, and the backings, which are these right here, are not holographic, but the front of the cards are. So let me zoom you in to go through the cards. So for this flip through, we're going to again go through each of the cards, but what I also want to do is look at the classic RWS cards to kind of like compare, you know, and get more of an idea on how you might feel about that specific deck compared to the RWS. This deck is based off of the RWS system as well, per the description in Samantha's shop. Whoa, look at that hollow. So we're just gonna get right to it. So this is the Fool card. That's so pretty. This looks like a what is that dog? I was gonna say dachshund, that's totally off. A corgi. I think it looks like a corgi dog. But look at the little socks on the dog. Look at those socks. So what I like here, oh, and it also has the elemental symbol, is if you look at the Rider-Waite-Smith card, right, there's a dog here, but in the actual card on the deck, the Fool is the dog. Ooh. Oh, see, this was the line I was talking about when I did my haul video. Right here. That might be a printing thing. But anyway, so they have the number of the card right there. The title is down here. And this is just for comparison so you guys can see like how this artist illustrated the Fool card compared to the typical Rider-Waite-Smith. I just thought it was interesting that the Fool is the actual dog, and in the RWS card, the dog is the one trying to be like, hey, be careful, don't fall off the ledge. But look at these borders though. Little bee right there. So detailed. Okay. Next card is, I think this says the Magus. Does it? The Magus. It's a little hard to read the text, but that's cool. It's a little kitty. Has the infinity symbol. It has the pentacle. It has the cup right there. Where is the sword? Unless we're seeing the sword as like the cat's nails, that could be it. I can see how the candles would be the wands, being the element of fire. I don't see a sword in here though. Do you guys see a sword? But like I said, you can see the cat's claws as the sword. Did I say fangs earlier? And then this is your, see, look at that difference there. It's just so awesome seeing an artist's depiction of each of the cards in the RWS system. Isn't that interesting? Next is the High Priestess, which is a beautiful swan. It's hollow though. It's so pretty. Then you got the moon there. Some flowers underneath there. There's stars everywhere too. She's got a beautiful crown of flowers. And then with the RWS, oh, is the B and J here? Actually, I'm not sure what the B and J stand for in this card. That's a good question. Do you guys know? Anywho, so as far as the like abundance here of the fruit, I can see that being depicted in the flowers all around the swan. And then as far as like her covering or not being able to see what's behind her too, I can see her wings as depicting how she's trying to cover something behind her as well. There's no scroll here, but again, there's some things you lose and some things you gain, right? It's just interesting to see the difference between the cards. Next is the Empress, which I think this is a lioness. I was gonna say bear, but it looks like a lioness with her little cubs. And look, there's a symbol right there. This is a really cute Empress card. Instead of showing like a pregnant Empress, you see the Empress with her babies already. And then this is the RWS. Next we have the Emperor, which is a lion. Oh, I like I guess you would call this tattoos on the lion's face. And they have roses within their mane. That's cool. These look like crystals. These look like feathers. You also got the symbol in the back here. And then compared to your that's so cool. Next we have the Hierophant or Hierophant, which is the owl with little mushrooms around the owl. Then you also have the zodiac symbol back there. I like how it's very faint, but you can still tell that it's there. That was my cat. The Hierophant. So let's see, we don't see, I mean, oh my god, why does she always cry when I'm filming? Maybe these two mushrooms can be like these two people here. You know what I mean? And you don't see this cross thingy. One thing that I would confuse this card for, because it's an owl and there's a moon, or it looks like a moon behind it, is I would confuse this as like the moon card too. So I wonder what the moon card looks like. Next is the Lovers. And these look like moths. They don't look like butterflies, they look like moths to me. And again, there's the zodiac symbol. So pretty. So you have your two figures, right? Two little moths right there as opposed to two people. You don't have the angel, but you have clouds like the sky. Angels we usually think about. When we think of angels, at least when I do, I think about the sky or them being above us, you know, like physically above us. Things like that. Whoa, this is the Chariot. This is awesome. He's got a little helmet. And then the zodiac symbol. Compared to your regular Chariot card. Oh, and it has wings. That's so cute. Oh, look at this strength card. It's an elephant. And they're very strong too. And they're huge. Like, as opposed to having a lion in the strength card, they chose to have an elephant. I love that. That's really interesting too. Because the lion they chose for the emperor, which still works as well. This is the hermit. This is cute. You have the, again, this looks like a moth to me. It doesn't look like a butterfly. But you have the little lantern there, and what looks like vines on the lantern. It's like this light is guiding the way for that little moth. And you have the lantern depicted here. So I like that they kept that symbolism within the card too. Next is the Wheel of Fortune. You got the little snake eating itself. You got the moon phases. You have what looks like a sun. And then you have stars here. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stars. Compared to your RWS Wheel of Fortune here. Next is the Justice card. This one's interesting because the bird has a blindfold. And you have the sword which is stabbing through the bird. And I believe the weights on here, it looks like it might be on each of the wings. But it's interesting that it's stabbing the bird. In the original RWS card, the sword is pointed upwards, right? But here it's pointed down, going through the bird. Next we have the Hanged Man, which is this adorable looking bat. It's so cute. You have the elemental symbol. I love this though. I mean, bats do hang upside down. And you also have the moon behind there. At least this looks like the moon to me compared to this one, where it's like more like a sunnish kind of glow. This Hangman has more like a nighttime glow with the moon. Next is the Death card. Wow, this is pretty. Look at all the flowers. Oh, and look, at least one of the antlers looks like it's a mushroom. And like the flowers are growing out. Oh yeah, look. The flowers are growing out of the horns. That's an interesting depiction of death too. Because even in death, there's still life growing out of this skull here. I think it's a deer skull. And this is your original death card. Next is Temperance. Oh no, the little cups are spilling. This looks like a cat with wings. That's so pretty. And with a really fluffy tail too. Oh, see, they kept the wings here. And they also kept the, like this one has a white gown. They kept, I guess you would call it the white gown here being white fur on the cat. That's cool. Next is the Devil, which is a black widow. A black widow with flowers in her web. Isn't it cool to see like other people's artwork and depiction of that specific card compared to the original artwork, but yet you still get the point across? Do you know what I mean, jelly beans? Oh, look at this tower. This poor unicorn broke their horn. And they're crying. And my cat's crying. I don't know if you heard her again. Is this, what is that? This thing right here. Some sort of crack behind the wall, looks like it. And look, the shattered horn and my eye. So they kept this little image here, you know? And the fact of like, oh, I just noticed that the unicorn also has like cracks on their head. Ugh. That had to have hurt. Next is the star card. Ooh, is this a, I think it's the Luna moth or moon moth. That's so pretty. Instead of, well actually, how many stars are here? 4, 7, 8. Does this have 8 stars? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? I think this is 10. Next is the moon card, which is a wolf. Very fitting. Alright. You got pine trees back there, which could be like the pillars in the original card. The sun card. Oh, look at the little rays back there. They're very faint, but you can still see it. And this looks like a doe, or no, a baby deer. Or it could be a doe because I don't see horns. And you have the sun symbol there as well. So you still have your baby, technically, because this looks like a baby deer or baby doe. Next is the Judgment card. I think that's a mouse. An adorable mouse. They're trying to hold the little horn too. And the mouse has wings. Adorbs. So you have the symbolism of the horn there. You got the wings, this little mouse being the angel calling people or animals forth, you know? That's cute. Next is the universe, which I think that's a cat. Look at that kitty. It looks like, I think there's 4 different planets. Because I see 1, 2, 3, 4. Which can probably be depicting the 4 beings on the corner there. Oh, now we're on to the minor arcanas. This is the Ace of Cups. Is this coffee? This looks like coffee. And there's a little sprout coming out. So you still got the spillage going on there. Next we have 2 of Cups. I think these are doves. They look like doves. Correct me if I'm wrong, but with doves, when they meet their partner, isn't that their partner for life? And I'm not sure if if one of the partners were to die, is it that the other dove that's living is likely to die of heartbreak because of the loss of their partner? I feel like that's a thing. Three of Cups. Oh, these two are chatting and this one's like, alright, I'm just gonna mind my business, I guess. Third wheel. Little guy's a third wheel there. Whereas right here, they're all like, yas. Four Cups. This one is interesting because the bird is noticing the 4th cup, right? At least it looks like it is, because it is facing the cup. And this cup has little stars in it. Whereas in the other one, they're kind of not paying no mind to that 4th cup. And in this one, the bird is totally looking at that 4th cup. Five of Cups. Oh, it's got a little tear in his eye. So you have your 3 spilled cups, right? But the bird's not seeing hey, you still have 2 with a bunch of beautiful things in there. It's okay. Don't cry over spilled milk. See, so they still got the 3 spilled cups as in that card. So far it's not coming off as a Pippish deck. I am seeing that they are providing enough illustration within the cards so far. 6 of Cups. You have these 2 little birds playing and stars in each of the cup. Stars being a representation of hope and happiness. You know, good vibes. This is your other 6 of Cups, which have star flowers in it too. And you have your two people in there, whereas here you have your 2 birds. Seven of Cups. Whoa, look at that bird. I'm pleasantly plump. Very content in that cup, let me tell you. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cups. Oh, that's cool. So this bird, I'm just focusing on the bird as the main character for this card, but they're actually within one of the cups that you're supposed to be, looking as oh, look at all these choices. This bird looked like they embraced these choices because they became one with the cups. And this one's oh my god, there's a lot of cups here with a lot of stuff. Which one should I pick? This bird's I picked mine, I'm good. That's what I'm getting from this. Oops. This is 8 of Cups. 3, 6, 7, 8 cups down there. And this bird, who looked like they just sprouted their wings to get out of there, to move on. Which is still, again, getting the point across compared to this card. So you don't have your mountains, the moon or the sun, or like, you know, the water, or even like the little cane that this person is using to walk away. But this bird does have their wings to fly away from those 8 cups. Another pleasantly plump bird. 9 of cups. Look how cute that bird is. I just want to pinch those cheeks. See, in here you have the main figure or person or animal in the front, and you have your 9 cups in the back. Just like the original card. And this person looks like, yes, I'm pleasantly plump too, and I'm happy, just like that bird. Ten of Cups. They're surrounded by the cups. They're in a way embracing each other. They got their little babies down there. You got stars, again, symbolism of hope, happiness. And here's the original. So you have your couple and you have your babies. You don't have the rainbow, which is fine, because the card itself is rainbow, but it still gets the point across. Next is the Page of Cups. Does that bird have a hat? Yes. And a little scarf. That's cute. I don't know if they're... You know what? This might be snow. These little circles here. That's probably why they have a little scarf. And this cup is overflowing as well. They look like they're landing on the cup. Or they probably just found the cup. Like in this Page of Cups, it looks like they just found this cup with the fish in it. And they also have that distinct hat and scarf, just like this little birdie does. Next is the Knight of Cups. The Knight has a little helmet that's covering their eyeballs. And they got little shoulder pads, and I think that's a chest pad. That's adorable. There's 4 cups around it, which might confuse people. For this being the Knight of Cups, they might accidentally see this as the 4 of Cups. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Because in your usual Knight of Cups, they only have 1 cup that they're holding, right? But this one you have 4. Interesting. This is the Queen of Cups, which I believe that's a stork. And she's within the cup. Looks like she actually technically wet herself being in the cup. Not like peed herself, guys. So see, this one makes more sense than the Knight of Cups did, because here you just have the 1 cup and the Queen, and here you have the 1 cup and the Queen. King of Cups. Is that a chicken? Look at all those chickens. I think that's a chicken. They got the little gobble gobble. Majestic feathers. That weird thingy that they have on the top. They're also in a cup with 1 cup. Now we're on the swords. Ooh, this is a pretty Ace of Swords. You have the infinity symbol going around the sword. The sun behind it. The colors of the wind vibes with these leaves. I need to see Pocahontas again. Two of Swords. Ouch. Poor moth. Stabbing through that moth. looks like it. There's some sort of splatterage in the back. That might be the blood of the moth. Because, I mean, at least that's how I see it. This looks like the moth is on the ground and they stabbed through it. Whereas in your Two of Swords, RWS original, they're not getting stabbed, they're holding the swords. So that's an interesting look at the Two of Swords here. Next we have Three of Swords. Ouch, again more stabbing. There's a little heart there. There's, again, what looks to be like blood. Their wing is also like ripped here. But it also looks like, you know what, they're still trying, right? In the angle that the bug is, they're not like flat on the floor. They look like they're still trying to get moving. If that makes any sense. So you have the little heart right there, which I think is really cute. You have the Three Swords, you have, this looks like it's around nighttime, and you have a moon here, or what looks like a moon. And it's raining. I can see the rain being depicted here, being like the blood being depicted here, as like the liquids in each card. Does that make sense? Four of Swords. Again, this looks like a Luna moth, which representation of nighttime. Four of Swords is about rest as well. You have one of the swords here resting on the floor, just like in your original. One of the swords are on the bottom, the other three are on the top. Five of Swords. You got this huge moth right there and two little ones down here. I can kind of see it as like this huge moth because they're so big. They're probably trying to grab the huge sword. Whereas these little ones are like, we have to carry two each. We can't do it. That's not fair. Six of Swords. Ooh, this looks like fire. This totally looks like fire to me. And that looks like water back there. And this moth looks like I'm getting the fuck out of here because you see those little flappy wind lines there, if that makes any sense. So movement, I see movement, right? Leaving this behind. Movement. Interesting that there's, this looks like fire, but I don't see fire in here. You do see water or something that looks like water though. And these little flappy lines can be like the movement being shown in the water here. Huh? Seven of Swords. Whoa, those are intertwined swords there. This looks like a different kind of moth. That looks like a little skull in there, doesn't it? This one is probably going to be a bit difficult to interpret compared to your original Seven of Swords. Because here, like, you see, like, this guy sneaking away, right, with some swords. And they forgot other swords right there. Whereas in this one, you have all the swords sort of intertwined together. Another way that you can depict this card to help you out is you can probably try to see the moth trying to carry all of the swords, just because I noticed the wiring here on most of them. I don't know, just an idea. But this one I can see it being a little confusing because again, all the swords are together as opposed to the original RWS 7 of Swords. Eight of Swords. Ooh. That, oh, there's a spider web back there too. This moth looks like it's been through stuff. You see, it looks like it's tied down. Possibly tied down on the swords. There's a spider web behind it, making it seem also like it's trapped. So two different, well actually it could probably be three different depictions of being trapped. One is the web. One is the strings tying down the moth. One could possibly be the swords that might be stabbing into the moth, as far as we're aware. We're not sure because it's under it. But I'm getting like it's bringing the point across of feeling trapped. And here you have the sword surrounding the person. You also have the strings on the person. Just like in this card, you have the sword surrounding the moth and the strings on the moth, plus you have the spider web. Very good, very good. Nine of Swords. See, I like how they did the swords like crisscrossing like that, kind of like there's a wall. Again, a different depiction of feeling trapped. And the way the moth or butterfly is too, it looks like they're scared, right? Like they're trying to figure out a way to get through this wall of swords. So they depicted the swords here, right? As what looks like to be a wall. And I don't know about you guys, but to me this moth looks like it's in distress. Like they're trying to figure out how to get past the swords. This person is in distress too. With the body, I was gonna say body expressions. Is that the right word? You know what I mean though, like they have their hands on their face. They clearly don't look happy on this card. Body language, that's what I meant. 10 of Swords. Oh. They look like they got stabbed right there. I don't know what this is. This might be blood. That little goop droplet right there. And look, the stars are cracked. Interesting. So this one I also feel brings the point across of what the 10 of Swords in the original RWS card represent. Here is some, like the swords are totally stabbing this person, right? It's also nighttime. Here you don't see a sword stabbing this little butterfly, but you kind of see a stab mark already in there and what looks to be possibly their blood, unless I'm seeing that differently. It looks like a little droplet. And you also have the stars cracked, like the hope was broken. Also with the stars being present, I'm thinking of nighttime, and in this card it looks like nighttime. Ooh, is this a caterpillar? Page of Swords? I think I see little hands. I think this is a caterpillar with a cute little hat. Knight of Swords. A butterfly. This is totally a butterfly. Spread those wings. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this type of flip through with the cards, comparing them to the OG RWS cards. Does it help? Does it not help? Queen of Swords. Oh, this one is interesting. You got a little crown. Because you see, she has stars on her wings, right? But they're like star holes, if that makes sense. And the swords are going through the star holes, but not necessarily hurting her. I love the crown there. That's so cute. So the butterfly's not necessarily in pain, right? They also look like they're embracing the swords, like bring it. Does that make sense? And here you have, she only has one sword. This card, she got 5 swords. The King of Swords. Again, this king is getting, well, this king is not getting stabbed because this one has circle holes in their wings. You can see there's, so the swords are going through the wings. And again, we see 5 swords in here. So the king and the queen of swords can probably be confusing to people if they're looking at the 5 swords thinking this is the 5 of swords. Just a heads up. So I'm wondering why the creator put 5 swords in those 2 cards. Because this King of Swords, they just got 1 sword. Now we're on to the wands. Look at this pretty wand. You see the root down here? Little flowers growing on it. Those look like little bees. Cute little bees. I like how this one you still see the roots. And in this one there ain't no roots, right? This one was like, it looked like this one was carved already to be a walking stick or something. Two of Wands. Look at that cute bee. This looks like the world, like the planet Earth right there. Which ironically, this card actually makes sense because without bees, planet Earth would not survive very long. Bees do a lot for us, even though they scare the shit out of me sometimes. And here, you have your 2 wands, and look, this person is holding the world. Just like this bee has the world there. It's cute. Three of Wands. Look at that adorable bee. It's got a little flower. These wings are different. I think so. Oh no, they're the same. Okay. For some reason I thought these were more round wings. 3 wands. 3 wands. And this one, I guess you could say it has 2 wands closest to it or behind it. And then you have the 1. And then here, if you look closely, it's 2 wands behind this figure and they're holding the 1. Four of Wands. Look at those fluffy bees. They might be bumblebees. Bumblebees don't scare me as much as like the other bees. The worker bees, I guess. That looks like there's, I was gonna say honey. whatever that is, but there's something coming out of that flower. There's probably like pollen everywhere, and they're like, yes, pollen. And then you have this one, and they're like, yes, whatever's in their hand. Oh look, we can do size comparison. It's actually tarot size. Five of Wands. This, I'm seeing direction, I'm seeing flow. I also see the little flappy air signs back here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Well, what's cool is that the flowers are the ones look like they were thrown that way, the direction the bee is going. Now, looking at the original Five of Wands, obviously it's depicting argument and fighting. So this one, you can probably see it as, was somebody throwing these wands slash flowers at the bee, like trying to get the bee away from them, you know? Sort of fighting with the bee, like back off. You know what I mean? Six of Wands. Look at that happy bee. You can see the smile right there. And you got a little banner there too. Party. It's surrounded by the six wands as well. You got, what is this? A wreath? Wreath? I was gonna say wraith. No, wreath? So this, with the banner actually being in there, is giving me like celebration vibes. Which can also be like vibes of being praised, things like that. And I feel like if this banner were not to be in here, it might have been harder for me to remember what the Six of Wands was. Does that make sense? Seven of Wands. Oh. If you guys look closely, the bee, the eyes look like it's, it has its guard up. The eyes look like they're angry eyes, you know? And also with the little lines here, the, I guess, action lines, if you want to call it. Kind of like, I get the sense of like that bee is trying to defend themselves, or they have their defense up. And also, if you see, the flowers have thorns on it, right? So be cautious, be careful. Which I think is represented very well compared to the original Seven of Wands. Eight of Wands. Hey, there's letters in there. So again, you have your action lines here. They're all pointing in one direction, which is also showing movement. You have these letters, which also seem to be moving in a direction too. It can also indicate a message on its way or something coming to you as well. So in this one, it's going, it'll be my right. I don't know if it's going to be your right when you see the video. The wands are going to the right. The wands here are going to the left, but they're both depicting that movement, so to speak. Nine of Wands. This bee looks like it's content and it's trying to pick up that flower slash wand. And there's the wall of flowers slash wands behind it. It doesn't necessarily feel like it's threatened or anything. I'm getting the vibes of it's building the wall itself is what I'm getting from this card. And then here, the Nine of Wands feels, probably because of the expression on the guy's face, this guy feels more defeated. This Nine of Wands feels more content to build that wall for like security. Does that make sense? But like with any deck that you guys get, tarot or oracle, you can depict it in any way that you'd like as long as it makes sense to you and it feels right. 10 of Wands. Oh, this one's totally carrying those. How many is it carrying? Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 4. That little bee's carrying 4 wands, which is more than enough to know that it's carrying a lot. It's trying, it's pushing, it's motivated, like I got this. I may be tiny, but I do a lot of work to help people out, right? And in here, this person's carrying all those wands. But like this 10 of Wands is still getting its point across. I feel that it is, of course. Page of Wands. Look at this. This looks like a wasp. Just because like the curving in the butt, I don't know, gives me wasp vibes. But look at that little head. And it's holding a wand. I think this is pollen around it. This is the Knight of Wands. I love that the creator put armor on the knights and the little helmet as well. And I think most, if not all of them, have this little like fluffy hair thing on the helmet. Oh, that's so cute though. This Knight of Wands has a 1 wand, where I think one of the other minor arcana cards, the cups I think it was, had like 4 cups with the knight, which was a bit confusing. But this one just has 1, not 4 wands, as a Knight of Wands. And then here, you see, look at this armor. It has like the little, whatever you call this, the little frou-frou thing on the helmet. Like it's ready for battle. This bee is ready for battle with that gear. Queen of Wands. Oh girl, you got your necklace there. Really fancy. The little crown. She's also holding a wand. You got flowers all over her. They're not sunflowers like here, but you know what? I still feel like the point is getting across. Your King of Wands. This King of Wands is very empty. I feel like this could have been blown up. That might have been an error that the creator didn't notice. I'm not 100%, but it looks off. Like this, there's a lot of space, a lot of empty space there. I think this card or that image was supposed to be blown up like this image, because this is very tiny. And then again, the other thing too, the queen bees are a lot bigger than the worker bees or the male bees. So that could have been intentional as well. Just want to point that out. Right, and this bee has its little crown, also holding 1 wand. Now we're on the pentacles. You have the infinity sign in there. What is that? Oh, I thought that was like a worm for a second. There's just the little rope holding the pentacle together. You got mushrooms growing on it and flowers. Two of Pentacles. It's this little bunny trying to balance the two pentacles there. Again, you have your action lights there, which looks like it gives the illusion that the pentacles are moving a little bit while this bunny's trying to balance it. Let's see, you can see that weird line here. That's probably a printing error from the machine that printed these cards out. So it's getting the point across of balance, right? Like in this card. Jesus Christ, it's a long ass hat. Three of Pentacles. See this one? It's on a pentacle to reach the other two pentacles. So it's like, it's working, right? It's, what's the word? It's brainstorming to figure out how to get the other two. Internal collaboration, I guess. And then here you have three people with the three pentacles. But again, I feel like this Three of Pentacles still gets the point across. Four of Pentacles. Oh my god, why is this bunny so angry? Buddy, we're not going to take your pentacles. Calm down. Look at those angry eyes. You got mushrooms here too. Leaves down there. One of the pentacles on their head. And then in the original, you have the one pentacle on their head, right? Just like here. They're holding one pentacle. They're also holding one. The only difference is this one is stepping or holding to with their feet. Here it is not, but it still gets the point across. This is the Five of Pentacles. And again, with the little action lines you see here, and even like the facial expression of the bunny, you get the sense of like the bunny is shivering, the bunny's cold. You don't see snow everywhere, but for me at least, with these little action lines and the expression, I can see, oh, this bunny's cold. It needs shelter. And then here, there's snow there, right? Which can clearly indicate these people are freezing. And you have your Five Pentacles there. You have your Five Pentacles up there. Six of Pentacles. This bunny looks happy. Look at that facial expression. Again, notice the lines too. And that, or at least like that little line above the eye. That can either be like its eyelid or eyebrow, but the expression in that bunny looks happy, looks content. They look like they're playing. They have stars in here too, which again, for me, symbolize hope, happiness, things like that. And this is your other Six of Pentacles. And here, I will say that in here you have more to work with because you have the weight scale here, you have the person giving, right? And you got the Six Pentacles around it. You have two people here also showing an action of wanting or needing what that person is giving. And this Six of Pentacles, it's not depicting a whole lot of that at all. What I get from here is that the bunny's happy, prosperous. Well, you know what? That can help. The fact that the bunny feels prosperous or looks prosperous and happy. Like, they would have enough to give, right? Does that make sense? I hope this is helping you guys with getting a better understanding of this deck. If you choose to get the deck, or if you already have this deck, let me know in the comments if you do, or if you're gonna get it. Seven of Pentacles. Oh my god, is that bunny taking a nap? Yeah, look at those little toe beams. They're so cute. I like that the toes are uneven. You got the pentacles around it. More mushrooms and leaves down there. Flowers. Like, this bunny looks like, I did a job well done. It's time for me to relax, you know? And this guy's like, I worked hard too. I think I'm just gonna take a break. This bunny also looks like it's full, like it's holding its belly. Ooh, my cards fell over. This is the Eight of Pentacles. Oh, they got a little necklace of a pentacle. That's cute. So you got your 8 pentacles there, right? This bunny has a little crown of pentacles with, I think those are grapes. Oh no, they're flowers. Little flowers in there. More mushrooms around it as well. And then this is this 8 of pentacles. So this one, I feel like this one would make more sense for the 9 of pentacles than the 8, because with this 8 of pentacles, it's showing this person working on their skills, perfecting their skills, you know, creativity as well. I don't see this 8 of pentacles giving a lot of that information. Does that make any sense? This gives me more 9 of pentacles vibes, with the like abundance, being surrounded by your abundance. This is the 9 of pentacles. So this one, it's surrounded by the pentacles, but again, it doesn't give that vibe like this card. And I think why is also because like they're wearing a pentacle or pentacles too, and all the flowers blossoming everywhere. Like here, I'll show you what I mean, because this is the 9 of Pentacles in the original RWS. I do notice that they do have the bird. I was gonna say the bard. They have the bard. So they have the bird there, right? I get that. And then they do have the pentacles around it, but it doesn't feel as like fruitful or abundant as this card. Whereas this card just feels more fruitful to me. Does that make any sense? Like the only thing this is missing is another pentacle and the bird for these two to fit, as opposed to this one. So that can be a little confusing. I could see that being just a little confusing. This is the 10 of Pentacles. Oh, this bunny's partying. Look at that face. Look at that little kick, that bunny kick. He's like, yes, I did it. Success, celebration. You got streamers back here too. Again, the stars added in there. You got flowers. This just feels like accomplishment. Accomplishment. Next is the Page of Pentacles. Look at this hat. They're guarding that pentacle, like don't touch it. This is my pentacle, don't touch it. This hat makes me think of like you're very artistic. Maybe it's the feathers, I don't know. Oh, the other thing too, Page of Pentacles, if you notice, there are 3 pentacles here. From what I've noticed, all of the pages and I think some of the knights in this deck have more items in their cards than they should. Like I think the pages should just have 1 of their item. Page of Pentacle, you should just need 1 pentacle, but you have 3. So this can, like I said before, confuse people thinking, is this the 3 of Pentacles? Show me what I mean. See here, Page of Pentacles, you just got the 1. They are showing that elaborate hat, and they are showing that they're holding the pentacle. But there isn't a need to have those pentacles there. And I'm wondering if the artist did that to fill in the blank space. I'm not entirely sure. It's just a guess. but I feel like it could have been filled with something else. Does that make sense, guys? Look at this Knight of Pentacles. Again, I love that they add armor to the bunny here. This is so cute. And the way it's drawn out, you can see like movement, like the way the limbs are on the bunny. It's like the bunny's moving, right? Even how this little frou-frou thing is angled, it's like wind is pushing it back because of the bunny moving forward. Does that make sense? I'm gonna be asking that a lot. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Whereas here, they're not moving. They're kind of just there, right? There's no like wind breeze on those little frou-frous, I guess, on their heads. They're kind of just there with their pentacle. And here there is movement, but it's slow movement. They're not like running. You don't see those action lines like in the other cards. Queen of Pentacles. Again, I don't think there's a necessity to have 4 pentacles in here. Just with it alone saying Queen of Pentacles, like we would get the idea. Even like with the crown that this bunny has and their little necklace, it's a lot different than the other bunnies in the deck. I do like though that they put little necklaces, or what looks like necklaces, around the pentacles. But because there are 4 pentacles in this Queen of Pentacle cards, that can be a little confusing, you know? Here she got 1 pentacle. And if you notice, there's a bunny. Bunny. And then we have our King of Pentacles. And this king has 5 pentacles. Wait, 6. I can't count. 3, 3, 6. Ooh, I like their crown. It's crystals. And they have antlers. That's cute and cool. But again, as I mentioned before, you don't need 6 pentacles with the King of Pentacles. Unless I'm missing something that the creator did not mention as to why they did that. But you can totally get the point across with just 1 pentacle in there. Here, King of Pentacles, they just have 1 pentacle. All right, well, we technically did the size comparison, right, within the video as I was going through the cards. And it is regular tarot size. It does have a beautiful holographic metallic-ish shimmer. Metallic-ish? I can't talk. That's so pretty. One thing that I did mention when I did the haul video though is the edging here, the cutting of the corners is uneven. If you can see there. Like they're all, each corner on the deck is uneven. And I feel like that's something that the creator of the deck should be aware of if they're not already, to possibly look into fixing that, you know, for future customers. Because I think some people might see it as like it's a make or break for them. I'm okay with it. I mean, I was a little bummed to notice, like, because it looks weird, right? But I'm still gonna use the deck, you know? I still think it's a beautiful deck. Oh my God, look at that hollow. Let's test the shuffling. Oh, I mentioned it in the haul video, but it is semi-gloss, right? And the cardstock is a bit flimsy. It's not, I keep mentioning the Llewellyn decks, but because that cardstock is not the best. So it's the only cardstock that I have in my collection that is really crappy. But it's not as bad as the Llewellyn cardstock. I will say that. What else was I gonna say? Oh, would I recommend this for beginner, intermediate, or expert level. I don't think it passes as a beginner deck, only because it does have the court cards, or at least some of them, having more items within it than it needs. Like I said, for example, the King of Pentacles had 6 pentacles in there. That can be a bit confusing to beginners, so I don't recommend this for beginners. I would recommend this for expert levels and intermediate. And it's not necessarily a pip deck. There are, I think there were 3 or 4 cards in here that felt more pippish because they didn't really make sense to the original RWS illustration or symbolism, if that makes any sense. So I wouldn't classify this as a pip deck personally. And I think that was everything I had to say about this deck. Oh, it shuffles really well. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope I didn't miss anything. I did want to ask though, let me know what you guys think about the flip through of using the original Rider-Waite-Smith deck, comparing it to another deck, just to see how the illustrations look, like the difference within the illustrations, the symbolisms that were used to depict the original Rider-Waite-Smith compared to the artist's own depiction. Did that help you guys understand this deck better? Did it not? Was the video too chatty for you? Was it not? Did it help in any way? You know, let me know in the comments. I actually liked doing it that way because I got to talk more to you guys too, and hopefully it helped anybody who's starting tarot familiarize themselves with the imagery or symbolism in the decks that you get. But anyways, let me know in the comments, guys, as usual, what you think, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.